Hey, this is Dan, Sprouts and Greens and more. Today, I'm going to mix some soil. Hopefully, I have everything, and then this video will go without a hitch. And what I'm doing here is I've got a couple of ingredients that I'm going to do. And I got my mic on me, and when I turn the soil maker on, which is a cement mixer, which if you have one laying around, I recommend that you get some kind of mixer when you have a lot of raised beds like my garden and you're trying to mix soil for all these raised beds. It can be a lot of work in the wheelbarrow, and what I found with the cement mixer, it's just so much easier, and I can add everything to it as I go. So I'm going to show you a couple of the things. So the one thing I'm going to add to the soil is worm castings. And of course I'm using the Buckaroo and probably will be using that. It's just really good. There's some stuff like Ancient Forest out there, but it's about $22 for the same bag, and I think the Buckaroo is just as good. And you can buy this by the tote at the hydro store for like $300 or $400. And then the other thing I use is rock dust. I'm big on mineralization, and so when we're doing the rock dust, I've read the label once or twice, and it's like it has 98 minerals for your garden. So I got my razor knife. Usually I have it in a 5-gallon bucket just because it makes it easier, but this one's pink. And then I use a glacier mountain rock dust that's more of a brownish color, and I just like both. So I'm going to put that down here. And then I had found a box of some humic acid, and this helps the plant with the uptake, and this is the down to earth. And then I just ordered this from Amazon, and this is the all-purpose from Down to Earth 2. And the thing is, on this all-purpose, and I actually got that to come right out of there too. Amazing, got lucky. Let me read the ingredients. So this will help. This has a little bit of humic acid in it, I believe, too, and it does. It has humic acid, and then it also has fish bone meal, blood meal, feather meal, alfalfa meal, rock phosphate, so it has a little bit of rock dust, lagonite, which is a salt, and then kelp meal. And I actually have a box of the lagonite too. And then this trash can I brought from the other side, and if you watch some of my previous video cleaning up my front yard, I think I show the compost, and I get this from Bulk Yard in Bakersfield, and it's really rich and great. So what I'm going to do here is just start the cement mixer, and I have some potting soil that was in there. And what I like about this is you can kind of turn it on its side and get it mixing. And you don't want to put your hand in there, and it can get kind of dusty. So if it gets too dusty, what I'll do is take some of this wetter soil that was in the bag and put it with the dry stuff. And you can see how wet it is. And then what we'll do is fire this back up, kind of tip it on its side a little bit. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's really turning that soil in there and getting everything we need in there. And it's mixing the dry, and now the dust that was coming out of it isn't as bad. And then you can kind of turn this thing a little down like that. And then what I do is I have my pitcher I used to have a little planter that I used that didn't have holes in it. And then I'm just gonna put 2 of those in there. Actually, probably like 3. And then I'm gonna put, this is about, I guess, a quart pitcher. So I'm gonna put about a quart rock dust in there. And because the mix has it in there, I'm just gonna put a couple handfuls in there of the humic acid. And then on this one, and I go a little heavy on this one, so I'm going to do about half of the quart. And then, if you guys are watching any of my videos, you know I'm really big on the warm castings. So then I'm gonna go warm castings on this. And that's how you do the soil. And then I'm gonna put it in the wheelbarrow and head it over to the raised bed back there. And then I'll show you guys how I dump it out, and we'll get it out of here, and then we're good. So, hey, wow, I'm working up a storm. I'm gonna get me some water. So I've got the weeds out enough in this area over here, and I'll show you in a second. But what I'm doing right now is I couldn't get, let me turn this camera. So what we're doing is this row right here, I can't get this barrel in there. This new garden cart is too wide. So I'm gonna have to hand truck it in here, and that's okay. I mean, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to get things the way you want it in your garden. And so I got this I'm gonna call it garden cart, and I've got another one that's more for brush and stuff, but this one holds the dirt, soil, I should say. It's not really dirt, it's soil, you guys. And so I'm gonna fill up these buckets and haul them over here. And I got another one, but it's got a little slit on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, but we're gonna try to fill this one up too. Get that weed out of it. And so we're just gonna, and you know, when I'm doing the garden work, I just kind of do it at my own pace, and I sit out here. You can see my garden buddy right there. He sits out here with me, and we just kind of do our thing, and I talk to him most of the days. He's kind of he's the supervisor over there. And he's making sure that I'm working. So I'm gonna haul these over there, get set up, show you how to mix the soil in with the existing soil, and then we'll go from there. I got my soil over here. We're just gonna take our soil right here and just dump it on top of the raised bed. I'd already dumped one over there. And I got one right here. Then I got my garden trowel right here. So, and I got a longer trowel. I bought this at Home Depot last year for the farm. And man, I'm telling you, if you got raised beds and you're dealing with a lot of weeds, this thing is by Ames. And it's got a 15-year warranty on it. They never last that long for me. The handles usually give up after about 5 years. But 15 year, I'll take that sucker back. Get me a new one every 5 years. Actually, I probably won't, because I never do that. I say I'm going to take something back. I never have the time or the memory to do it. But because I'm old and senile. Anyway. Anyway, so I got all the soil in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bring this in here and show you guys how I mix it in. Okay, so I got this in here, and all I'm going to do, and you don't even have to mix it in, but I like to kind of mix it in, that way I can be pulling any weeds and anything I see in the raised bed out. So you can just, so what I do is I'll just kind of start on one direction and start troweling it in and mix it in with my old soil. And that way I'm digging for roots and mixing it in and getting it really cultivated and in the soil really good. And I'm trying to work out of the way here. And then what I'll do is just kind of move it toward me like this. See that? And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there are some roots that are coming up, so I pull them as I go. And then just, because once you get the weeds, they're hard to get out, but once you start getting them out of your raised beds, they won't come back. But like I said, I had neglected my garden for a while. It was sad. So you guys are seeing the reconstruction of the sprout garden, which is really good because I really love it back here. My dog, and once I have all the weeds out, my wife will come back here more. She won't come back here when there's too many weeds. She knows I want her to pull weeds. She don't want to pull no weeds. So anyway, I lost the sound to the video. And I was working and talking, and you know how I am on my videos, always talking. But I hope you enjoyed the making of the soil. And look, if you don't have a cement mixer, then you can just put it in a bucket, mix out like your worm castings and all your down to earth and your rock dust together, and then slowly add it into a wheelbarrow, or just trowel it in like I did when I would put the soil in there, and then just trowel it in. So if you're going to the compost places, most of them will have like a blend. I'm not big on the blend because they use sand, and I would rather see cocoa coir or vermiculite in there. And the vermiculite gets a little compact, so I've kind of veered away from vermiculite. I'd rather use perlite or cocoa coir for the fluffiness and to get the soil aerated. So anyway, I hope you like this segment, mixing the soil. And there's just a lot of nutrients you can put in it, but worm castings is the number one. And I had found a worm in the cement mixer, so if you buy one, you're worried about the worms. I found like 4 worms that came out of there, and they were in totally good shape. Like, they weren't chopped up, they weren't half worms, they had the tails on them from tip to tip. And so the cement mixer doesn't destroy the worms either, and that's a good thing. So anyway, that's the way I do it. You can do it in 5-gallon buckets, like I said, and do it in wheelbarrows and garden carts. And I hope you like this segment. So anyway, please subscribe, like the video, share it with all your friends, and keep gardening. And of course, peace. I'm out of here, and we'll catch you on the next one.